Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So I am Anjali and I grew up in India, but then I moved to the Netherlands for my masters, and you have a lot of questions about my life here, my masters and everything related to that, and I totally understand. That's why I decided to make a series called My Master Plan, where I share about my entire experience and journey, and I hope it's helpful to you. And let's just get started. So let's go back to where it all started. So for context, I was studying at NMIMS and I was in second year of college, and everyone was like, what are you going to do after your bachelor's? So it was a 3 year course, I mean bachelor's degree, and I was studying BSc finance, and everyone was preparing for CAT, GRE, GMAT, placements and stuff like that. And what, it was so overwhelming. I'm not gonna lie, if you are in that stage of your life, it's gonna be okay. You have a lot of options, you have a lot of time. At that time you're like, nahi, sab kuch abhi karna hai. I'm like 21 year old and I want to achieve everything, but it's okay. It's all gonna turn out fine, I think. But let's go back. So I was so overwhelmed, and I always knew that I wanted to go out for my masters. I wanted to study abroad for sure. So that's when I started researching. So one thing I want to mention is that I never went to any career counselor or guidance, university guidance counselor, or third party agency or something like that. I did everything on my own with help of my father. And so I totally get it. When you're in this process, you want some assurance or some guidance. That's why you go there. So for me, it was my father. He was my mentor, and I totally take inspiration and help from him. So he helped me throughout the entire process. But if you want help from someone, of course do take it. If it's from a agency, your friend, your family member. I also started seeing like the top colleges, US, UK, and everything. But I then also, like, in my head I had some points like, I'm only in my second year, I have no job experience, I'm not like the top of my class, I don't have like a 10 on 10 GPA or whatever. And so after some point I kept the bullet points in my mind, and I started eliminating colleges, or like, rather, which college do I fit into. I was seeing all the requirements and stuff like that. So after a while I stumbled upon Europe, of course, and I was seeing Erasmus and Amsterdam and all the great universities here. And I stumbled upon Utrecht and this course, and I read the requirements, and it matched with me. And I was like, oh my god, this is so good. Like, the subjects I'm studying, I can build upon them. I was really excited for that and stuff like that. I'll talk about it a little bit later. Okay, so I also mentioned, right, that I was overwhelmed. So my plan was to just apply for this one university, and if it doesn't happen, I'm still in second year of college. So my plan was to finish college, then after third year I was like, देखते हैं उसके बाद figure out kar. So that was my plan, apply to this one university, and let's see how it goes. So for the requirements, it had like several requirements, and the first one was subject requirements, which I had, which was like the biggest point for me. So I was studying those subjects during my bachelor's degree in finance, and then my course was financial management. So I could build upon those subjects, and I have the base for it. Second was language requirement, which is IELTS. So anyways, I had to give IELTS for going abroad anyways. So I started preparing for that as well. So I didn't go to any IELTS coaching. I took like a small online course, and I think there are a lot of YouTube videos also. And for me, growing up, I like, in my family and my friends, we did speak in English, so it was a plus point for me. So I would not say that I'm really good at the language, but at least I'm a little bit fluent. So there are 4 sections for IELTS, right? Reading, writing, listening, speaking. So reading, writing, so my entire schooling and my bachelor's was in English, so this was not a big issue for me. um, for listening also, I see a lot of movies and TV series and stuff like that online in English, so I'm used to listening to English as well. And the fourth one was speaking. For speaking, the main part was I was a bit nervous, nothing else. And this all you can practice on your own, or like I did with the small online course, and it's totally up to you how you want to prepare for it. Then I gave my IELTS, it was done. So now the third was letter of recommendations. Oh my god, I was actually so nervous to ask my professors for LORs. I was like, but you know, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. I went to some of my professors and I asked them, please give me a LOR. But then two things for LORs is, first, like, take LORs from the professors that you think are relevant for the course you're applying for. Like, the subject that they teach is important, I think, so that they can refer you that okay, she is studying this subject, she is good at it, blah blah blah, and you know, she is good for the master's program as well. And second was the, like, the post of your professor. I think it's important because it does hold some power. That's what I did for LORs. I had 2 or 3 LORs prepared for myself, and then I was like, okay, this is done. Now the fourth important point, I think, is motivation letter. Oh my god. And I like this part, okay? I mean, I totally get it. Like, it happened with me as well. When you start writing a motivation letter or you're writing it for the first time, you're like, how, what, what goes in? I can write so much, but at the same time, I'm not able to write anything. So it was so overwhelming. I think I remember I took like a whole week to just write one motivation letter. But I think at the same time, it's like the best part because it adds your personal touch. You know yourself, right? So you can write why you are good for the program, what all do you bring to the table, if you go there, if you're, why did you choose the specific university, the course, the country, and you can put everything in, like, why I want to come here, and you can add the personal touch to it. And so I started writing. So like I said, I took a whole week. The first 2 days I was like, oh my god, where do I even start? I went online, I read some sample LORs, I refined it, I made so many drafts, and I sent it to my father, some of my friends. They gave their recommendations, I improvised it, then I improvised myself, and after a week I came up with a motivation letter. So after all of this, I finally applied to the university. And of course, for applying, you also have to pay like the uh, registration fees and stuff like that, and make a lot of accounts. And one suggestion or one tip I can give is start as early as possible, because the application process in itself is so, like, big. It takes so much time, so many documents, visa, stuff like that. So start as soon as possible. If you're sure, start preparing. And I would say do your own research. It's totally doable. Trust yourself, and it's all gonna be okay. And I hope this was informative. If you have more questions related to this, please leave them down in the comments below. And I'm gonna see you in the next episode of the series. Until then, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and have a good day.